Well, travelers are crowding the sky this holiday season. The Air Transportation Association is predicting 45 million customers are going to be flying during a 19-day period from just before Christmas to right after New Year's Day. Joining us now to tell us the best and cheapest ways to get around during the holidays. The points guy, Brian Kelly. I think Notre Dame's going to need some points against Ohio State. I mean, that's not fair. The horrible thing happened with Stanford, and then they got to go play Ohio State. That's and you're not the Brian Kelly on
not that Brian Kelly
on Fast Money either. They're totally different.
I have interviewed with him before, but yeah, not
totally different Brian Kelly. So. We've talked, Andrew's not here. Andrew is a genius with frequent flyer miles. Mm-hmm. And what we finally decided, you are too?
Oh, yeah.
What we finally decided the value is approximately a penny a mile. Is that about what you should get for?
As a baseline, you should be getting at least 1 cent per mile. Now, when you think about getting credit card points, you should be getting actually 2 cents per mile because they're cash back cards that'll give you 2% back, right? So okay. I would rather take 2 cash pennies than trying to get 1 penny in the value of airfare. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. But it all depends because you can earn miles for everything these days.
So is it the only thing they're valuable for getting in the front of the plane somehow, which is other people use them to actually fly, right? Actually get the ticket, but
well, it just depends. You know, a lot of airlines these days limit the upgrade space, make you buy the full fare refundable economy ticket, and then make you wait. So can you imagine paying triple the price of a coach ticket and waiting to get the upgrade, and it doesn't come through, and then you're sitting in coach and paying 3 times the price of everyone around?
Fare class that's high enough, but not the worst.
But a lot of airlines,
and then you use miles, a small amount of miles actually to get the business class.
But what's happening, though, with those business class upgrades, airlines are selling business class seats. You know, airlines have invested billions into the product. People are paying for it, so they're not releasing as much instant upgrade space. So back in the day, especially during the recession, it was easy to snag those cheap upgrades. It's a lot harder.
No, you got a lot of things that people should probably do. What's this thing you can get in case you don't have like elite status or something? There's something you can do so that you don't get, like if you get canceled, or you can have the right phone. What should
if you don't have elite status, you got to have having an airline credit card if you fly a certain airline can easily save you. You know, the annual fees are usually under $100. The fees that the airlines are charging these days you use those airline perks once, it can easily pay for that.
So you should do that.
Yeah, and even the lounge access. Now, airline lounges aren't all that glamorous in the U.S., but if your flight gets those agents at the lounge are generally the most, seasoned agents. They can rebook you, so instead of waiting in an hour-long line to get rebooked, go head straight to the lounge, and even if you don't have access, paying $50 to get in.
$50 if it's a bad weather day.
Exactly. Pay the $50 and save hours of your time by getting rebooked before those, last few seats are given to other people.
What else can tips for these 19 days?
Yeah, I mean, the TSA PreCheck is a godsend for frequent travelers. You can buzz through. I usually get through in under 3 minutes. Keep your shoes on. But if you apply for Global Entry, which is a government program that helps you also get through when you come into the country, it includes TSA PreCheck, and it's $100. A ton of credit cards out there will actually rebate you, like the Amex Platinum. So it's all about knowing the perks. A lot of credit cards have these amazing perks, but you just need to know how to maximize them.
Does anybody knit this all together and make a hub of like all your affiliations and all the reward points everywhere?
Well, like an app you can use?
Something.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the points, there's a lot out there. I mean, at thepointsguy.com, we teach people every day how to maximize. We cover all but at the end of the day, you need to be your own advocate. You need to know what the credit card perks are. And, these elite programs are changing. All the airlines are now changing towards revenue-based, where instead of how far you fly, it's about how much you spend.
I was going to say, mile isn't a mile anymore. There's miles that you can just generally accumulate, and then the miles that matter for you to achieve elite status are much more controlled.
Exactly. And United and Delta now have revenue requirements. Not just being a frequent flyer, you have to be a frequent spender.
Yep.
American just announced they're not going to quite take that route, but American is switching towards a revenue-based in the redeemable miles.
So for somebody who is an incredibly frequent flyer, this is going to sound awful, but I wish they were more judicious about who gets into the TSA Express line.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen the elite line actually look longer than the regular line.
Totally.
Because everybody's elite. It's like,
the airlines,
T-ball,
the TSA PreCheck's amazing when it runs correctly, but then when you put people who have no idea and they're taking their shoes, your hair out. And it's, to an extent of, elite travelers. A lot of elite travelers haven't really earned it, right? So to kind of cull the elite ranks for those actual, tried and true travelers may not be a bad thing.
Well, you spent a lot of time investing, sometimes money, because it can be expensive. It was very expensive at first to get Global Entry. Yeah. And then you get there and you've built in an expectation about how much time it's going to take to get to the airport.
And then especially at LaGuardia, I mean, they don't even manage who goes into the pre-check lane, but, you know, they're alleging that they're going to get better with pre-check.
Thanks for letting me